Well, hello there, guys, and welcome back to another episode, I guess you should say, of Star Wars Lego Star Wars. But what the fuck are we doing? I think it's pod racing today. Don't mind the little barkings and shit upstairs, guys. The dogs are going fucking insane. But today I'm gonna go ahead and talk about cars. I gotta get a new car soon. I do. So I've been looking at the minis. I've been also looking at Ford Mustang, and there was a third one. I think there's a Mazda in there. Also looking at a Mazda. I don't know which one. I've heard minis have decent track records. I know Fords, for example, Ford Mustangs and two-doors tend to last longer. They're easier to fix, and things like that. Ooh, excuse me. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the Mini, I'm more on the verge of the Ford and or the Mini, due to the fact that the Fords are easy to fix, but the Minis, I need to get information on them, like first-hand experience, before I actually decide to get it. Everybody's like, "Oh, you should get it, etc., etc." But these are people that don't have one. And what I'm seeing is that I talked to somebody. Actually, no, I talked to two people this week, and they're like, they can be costly. I was like, okay, let me look up more in depth. You know what I mean? I do know, what the hell are they called? BMWs. Their motors tend to suck sometimes, and that's my only worry, especially since it's a compact car. The engine, from what I'm hearing, at 40,000, they could be starting to have some issues. You know what I mean? I've seen some go up to 100,000, which is good, which seems to be pretty good. But it's just that I don't want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking out and give you what, etc., a month, or just straight up buy said vehicle, which I most likely actually like. I do like the fact of owning a used vehicle. Just here's the money, dude. Let me get my car, and we're all good to go. I've always liked that factor because it's mine. I'm not sitting here paying it off for 20 years. Well, in short, I would say 2 years for a new car for me, at least if it was a decently, what, 10 to 13 grand. You know what I mean? It's not that bad, but you know what I mean? It's just that fact of, hey, if worst comes to worst, I've always thought about it as this shits out on me. And this is like buying from a dealer that's basically used. It's only underneath 50,000, and you know, only 50,000 miles. It would be anywhere between 13 and 10 for that factor. If it was like 5 years ago down the line, or at least 4 to 5 years going backwards per year. And I think model. So I would say probably a 2013 or 14. Maybe-ish downward used. If anything, 94,000 miles would be a decent one. You know what I mean? And do that, hopefully. That's the thing, because like, I haven't seen any of these minis over 150 to 170. You know what I mean? Or at least 150. You go online and you know what I mean? The people selling Mustangs for, they have, what, 100,000 something miles. And, you know what I mean? They're kept in pristine condition. And it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? You look up parts for the vehicle. There are a few that are mildly expensive, but a good portion of them, it's like, meh, you can go and find it anywhere. You can just put anything in there, basically. Well, not anything in general. I'm just talking about in a sense of finding that part. You know what I mean? They're just so readily available, and they're not over the sea. They're not shipped from overseas. You know what I mean? It's not an exotic-based car. You know, in my opinion, of what I'm seeing is that minis are classified as a an exotic vehicle. You know what I mean? Which is okay. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. One of my cars is Mazda RX 5 or Mazda RX 7 or 5, 1990. No, Mazda RX 7, 1995 edition. And I can tell you right now where it's from. The game Need for Speed Underground 2 was my favorite car, and at the same time, that's all I saw driving about where I was. I'd say about 5 people had one. It was just the best car when I was younger. And it's just like, still the modifications that can go into that car, from what I understand. I think the transmission on there, is either the transmission or the radiator, or I think it's the fluid pipe tends to break on that car. Other than that, that's all that I've heard that breaks of it. But they're so expensive. Now I have found one. I have found one for $3 grand. There's 90,000 miles on it. But the only downside is it would be considered as a show car, I think, or I guess in like I'd say for modern. I'm not talking about classics and things like that, but I think a show car for it. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty badass. It's bright gold, but I'm not a fan of gold in general. Oh wait, I think this is the one where I started like I failed this mission like 5 times. But anyway, back to the whole car thing. Now when it comes to Mazdas, I've been looking at the MX recently. In my opinion, it looks good. It looks decent. I just am not in the mood to sit here and pay 22 grand. I'm not about that life. You know what I mean? Obviously, they'll give you, hey, you put down this much, and then after that, you pay like 100, 200 a month for the vehicle. It's like, that's the thing. Like, I don't like doing that though. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna do that, I'm just gonna go and find a used one go check it out, see it firsthand, go look underneath it, see if the structure's good, see if it's been sitting on the grass for a while and it's starting to rust underneath the actual box, not the box frame, the frame, and it's like, you know what I mean? I like doing that firsthand experience instead of going in, signing with the dealer, you know what I mean, and just kind of getting fucked. You know what I mean? It would suck. It would really suck. But anyway, those are my choices. If you guys want, go ahead and let me know what cars you guys have, as well as what car is your dream, either your car you have or the car you want or your dream car. You know what I mean? Mine is a Mazda RX-7 1995 edition, only because it's just one of those things that I grew up around, and that game was there, and it was just mine. It was just, that car, my favorite car. But you know, I'm a fan of Fords in general. But let me know what you guys have, what you guys think. I think this is gonna be the end of the episode. So, you guys know the deal. Game on and game strong. Another thing, I'm gonna try to launch the channel. We're not gonna be streaming this week coming up. But the following week we are. So that's why I'm just trying to get enough episodes out for you guys, so you guys can be just a little bit satisfied. Until then, guys, game on and game strong, and I will see you guys later. Deuces. I lost my mouse. Here we go.